DOT didn't stop me. Hope it doesn't rain. I got a load of firewood in my way. So here's an example of a homemade tractor cab. This is my dad's tractor, and it's a Kubota L2550. It's an older model tractor, and he built his own tractor cab. I think this might be the second or the third tractor cab he built. He's got a regular doorknob on here, and it's a cute little cab. And it does the trick. Has no heat or AC, but it shelters him during the winter months if he's plowing, or you know, if he's got to go do some woodwork and he's got to go out into the woods. But yeah, it's got a wiper. Homemade tractor cab. So first of all, happy Canada Day to everybody out there, my fellow Canadians. It was a nice day today to celebrate Canada Day. So yeah, I wanted to talk about tractor cabs. So the title of this video is "To Cab or Not to Cab." My friend Dave at RCAF Polar Express released a video a little while back talking about tractor cabs or no cabs. He has a little tractor there and he has no cab, and we're always teasing each other back and forth. So I just wanted to go over the pros and cons to having a tractor cab. A little bit of background, I've been working with tractors with my dad and my uncle since I was quite young, and we always had tractors with no cabs. So we'd go in the woods with the tractor, bring it back from the woods with some firewood with no cab. You'd have to be dressed to the nines in the wintertime. If it rained, it rained, and it was pretty miserable, I'll tell you. But that's what we had, and most tractors didn't have a cab, and the older tractors had, you know, metal cabs and stuff. So finally, we did get a cab with a cab. We did get a tractor with a cab. And wow, what a difference that made. That was great. And So I got older and I got into, I got tractors myself, and my first two tractors didn't have cabs. One of the older International 434s I inherited from my dad and my uncle, and I was excited. That was my first tractor. Nice little tractor, no cab. But you know, I made out with it, and it worked, and it did the job. And then I sold that, and I got I got a little Ford four-wheel drive tractor with the loader. And so I went logging with that, and that did the trick. Had no cab, and had to get a bigger tractor. So that tractor you see in the video now, that's a Coyote 65 horse tractor, and that's got a cab, heat, and AC. And holy moly, I'll never go back. But it's all according to what you do with your tractor. So yeah, there's always a debate and questions online whether, you know, new tractor owners are like, well, should I get a cab or shouldn't I get a cab? And it all boils down to what are you going to do with the tractor, right? Everyone's different, so it's all according to what you're going to use the tractor for. Do you have a garage to store it in? Are you going to be traveling with it at all, or are you just going to be doing yard work with it? So it all depends on what you're going to do with the tractor. That's what it boils down to. Yeah, this should be good. So I got my kitty here, just came to visit me at the sawmill. I just recently lost my sawmill kitty. He got run over by a car a couple weeks ago. My cat Bella. So yeah, she was always at the sawmill here. But we have this other cat. She's so kind. So she's taken over the other cat's sawmill duties, I guess. So I'll just go over some cab versus no cab points, I guess, that I've kind of gathered. I made some notes here. So if you get a cab, you'll have heat. Heat is nice if you're going to be plowing snow or, you know, working quite a bit in the tractor. Heat is great. It's shelter. In the hot weather, you're going to have AC in your cab. So if you're bush hogging, if you're doing hay or mowing fields, you know, those big tractors, they're fully loaded. So if you're going to be doing that type of work with your tractor, think about that, right? So it's, you know, think about the weather. Are you going to be sitting on that tractor seat for long periods of time? Like I said, if you have a garage to store it in and you're going to take it out just to play around the yard and you're going to do some work with it, well, maybe you don't need that cab. A lot of safety stuff to consider. If you're going to be using a tractor to work quite a bit with, you don't have a cab. If you fly into a wasp nest or bugs and flies, you know, they're going to bug you on that tractor. You're sitting there and that tractor doesn't go very fast. So you're going to get that. And also if you travel with the tractor at all, like, you know, a cab provides that protection, right? In a rollover, of course, some of those non-cab tractors have what's called ROPS. It's a roll bar there. You got to make sure you have that up all the time. But if you have the cab, you have that protection as well. So, you know, those are a few pros, I guess, to have a cab. No cab. So I mentioned my friend Dave from his channel, RCAF Polar Express. His best point that made a lot of sense for me is he bought quite a few attachments. So if you buy a tractor and you get a cab can be upwards of $8,000 to $10,000 price tag onto the price of the tractor. So if you really don't think you're going to need a cab, that $10,000 will go a long ways to buy some implements: backhoe, brush hog, bag blades, you know, land planes, a loader, buckets, forks, grapples, whatever. If you're not going to need a cab, that 10 grand on that you're going to pay for a cab is going to go a long ways on that, on those attachments. So that's something to consider, right? A lot of people go in the woods and they go logging and there's branches and stuff. To have a cab, it's a plus not to have a cab because you risk breaking your glass and stuff. I do a lot of logging with my tractor. But I make sure I bought a pole saw, and I make sure all my logging roads are clear of branches and debris. And it's a setback, takes a little more time, but I still have the cab to be able to go travel in the woods and do some logging and stuff. I'd always rather have a cab. I see a lot of comments online about, oh, I'd never get a cab. I go in the woods a lot. I'd smash it. Well, yeah, I understand, but you got to take the time to clear your roads, cut your branches down, and you can't just shove a tractor into the woods. You're gonna break mirrors and glass and stuff. So you got to be careful. Oh, what else have I got here? Oh, and the easy on and off. It's a little easier to get on an open station tractor without a cab, but not that much. That doesn't really affect me. You open the door, you get in the cab, you get in the tractor. I know my tractor, the cab is big, so I just get in, get out. I open the door, I close the door, no big deal. It's a little bit easier though, just a little bit. So you'd save money. You can get aftermarket cabs, you can get canvas cabs, and there's even homemade cabs. So that's an option, a lesser expensive option to have to think about. So the debate. It's not really a debate on to get a cab or to not get a cab. If anybody's watching this and give me your opinion in the comments down below. But if you're thinking about buying a tractor and you don't know whether you should get a cab or not, really think about what you're going to do with the tractor. That's what it boils down to. What are you going to do with that tractor? You're just going to play around the yard. And again, you want to make sure you can store it. I mean, I wouldn't keeping a tractor outside. I wouldn't be able to have a tractor and leave it outside here without a cab. You'd have to have a tarp over it. Here it's windy, the salty air from the ocean affects the electronics and stuff. So that's really something to consider. If you're going to get a tractor without a cab, you have to have a shelter for it, I would say. Especially the newer ones. They have more electronic stuff on them and stuff, so something to really consider. If you have a garage to store it in or whatever, well, that's fine. You can put it in the shop. If I was to get another tractor, another smaller tractor, just for yard work, I wouldn't mind not having a cab on it. I'd build a shelter for it, and it's easy on and off. And you dig a hole and you push stuff in your bucket, so you're on and off the tractor a lot. That's okay. So, but again, if you're going to buy a tractor and you're wondering whether to get a cab or not, really consider what you're going to do with the cab. Boy, this kitty's friendly tonight. Yeah. What do you think? What do you think? Cab or no cab? So yeah, but in closing, again, happy Canada Day. Thanks for everybody for watching. And Dave, I know you're going to watch this, so someday we will get you into the tractor cab assimilation club. We're working on you. I know we're going to get there. Okay, so have a great, hope you all had a great Canada Day, and take care. See you later. Yippee. Yippee.